and I don't want to boil it down too much, but it's about the dangers of being distracted by social media and media the way in its current form.
Yeah, I mean, I think the key argument of the book is that attention, what we do, where we put our mind's focus from moment to moment, is the most valuable resource we have as individuals, and now the most valuable resource for corporations in public discourse. And I think that the companies that have figured that out and are constantly trying to extract our attention from us, the President of the United States, who I think has a better insight into this than almost any figure in public life, have figured out that if you can grab people's attention, sometimes even seemingly against their will, and collect it, it's very, very, very valuable commodity. And part of the weirdness of living in this age is this feeling of the attention constantly being kind of pulled from you against your will. I think people feel that way about the President of the United States. Mm-hmm. They feel that way about the phones in front of them, this sense of kind of constant interruption. Where do I actually want to focus myself? And then when all the interruptions are gone, that weird feeling of like, oh, now I'm bored.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
Like, shoot, I left my phone in the car. Now I got to sit here for 2 minutes and wait online for coffee. With my own thoughts. I'm not. And part of the reason I think we're not doomed, and I think the food analogy is useful, you know, when you look at this country's culinary culture, right, and processed foods, and it sort of hits this like dead end in the 70s and 80s, you know, like the Jell-O salads and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And what ends up happening is people start rebelling against it in all kinds of ways. Like weird hippies are starting their whole grains markets and the farmers markets, and that actually becomes a just totally alternate vision of what kind of food we want to consume and put in our bodies, right? And I think there's something happening now with our attention. We're in this kind of dead end and everyone feels it. People are like, I don't like this. I don't like this feeling. I don't like that car sickness of the soul I get when I'm on my phone too long. We should do something different. And I think that impulse to do something different is going to find a bunch of different expressions in people finding ways out of this current dead end.
I think it's very interesting that this time around, Trump doesn't see, the first time around, it seemed to be an extension of The Apprentice, where he was just firing, you're fired, it was his catchphrase, and he just kept up with it. Now, do you think Pete Hegseth will get fired?
It's such an interesting question, because by all rights, he should.
Right.
He never should have been confirmed. And that's not like an ideological or partisan thing to say. He just was never actually qualified for the position.
Anyway, yeah.
You've now got 4 top staffers who have left, one who wrote an op-ed for Politico saying, like, this guy has to go, the place is in chaos. I just saw news that his chief of staff is moving. So he should. But the thing that Trump learned from the first term is, if no one inside the tent ever starts criticizing, you could kind of hold together this kind of 42% together, and then everything just sort of goes away if you stick it out long enough.
That's true.
And it's a pretty profound insight. So you've got one Republican member of Congress, Don Bacon from Nebraska, who's on the record saying the guy's got to be fired. But I think they've kind of learned this very perverse lesson, which is if no one else starts coming out, if you keep everyone together, you can kind of get through anything.